Hi everybody, it's Kylie Esterhazen here, and today I'm chatting with someone very exciting. His name is David Nijland. He is the co-founder of OwnAware, the developer of Graphite Park, which is our most recent EasyProperties property. And what's so cool about this property is that it's an industrial property. So I have lots and lots of questions for you, David. Thanks so much for joining us. Maybe you can just start off by telling us a bit about you and about OwnAware. What's that about?
Yes, thanks, Carly. Great to be on your show, and very excited with this opportunity. Previously, we been involved in an opportunity known as the Exchange, which was also offered. It's a residential development.
Those were lofts, right? Those
yes,
were lofts
correct.
In
that was
town,
lofts in Johannesburg.
Nice.
It was an exciting conversion from an old historical building into urban-style lofts, and it was offered on the platform, and it's turned out to be a very successful development. Since then, we've moved into the commercial industrial space, and I'm very excited to be co-partnering with you guys on this venture, which is the first, I believe, for EasyProperties in the commercial space. Just a little bit about myself. I'm actually a boring chartered accountant of 40 years, but with numerous business experience in various trading businesses, import businesses, lots of property development, lots of property investing over the years. And yeah, so I've got a broad business experience. But a partner of mine stumbled across an opportunity which we've branded as OwnAware. OwnAware, actually a bit of a play on words. It's actually to own a warehouse or to create awareness on ownership within the property space, mainly focused obviously in the commercial space. So OwnAware is really a one-stop platform that uses its expertise to identify an opportunity, to make the acquisition, and then to take the property, which is actually normally registered as one with one title deed and might have multiple units in it, and then cut those units up and known as sectionalizing. A lot of people know the word sectionalizing in the residential space, but it's also applicable in the commercial space. And sectionalize the park into individual little units, each with their own title. And in so doing, we can now offer those to either existing tenants or to outside investors. And obviously, EasyProperties is a great platform to take a bunch of these units and to package them and to offer them on their platform. So yes, OwnAware's managed to make great inroads. And we've managed to make a few key investments and hence Graphite's being made available.
And when you're not being a property mogul, you're also doing triathlons and all kinds of interesting things. So yeah, I'm really happy to be talking to you today.
Thanks, that's great. So
let's get into it.
Everyone has to stay fit.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get into it. When I first heard that Graphite Park was going to be on EasyProperties, I literally started funding my EasyProperties account because I'm so intrigued by this idea of industrial property. So maybe you can just talk about what is industrial property exactly?
Yeah, well, everyone knows residential, where you buy a place and you live in. It's really a place where businesses live in. It's really a place for development, for manufacturing, for assembling goods. It generally consists of a office component and a warehouse component, and it's a home for many service providers and for people who store and move boxes, and for a lot of importers. So it serves a lot of needs.
Okay, and the units that we've got for EasyProperties, these are micro-industrial units. What are those exactly?
So generally a micro unit is an industrial unit, but it's maybe on a smaller scale. It's maybe a bit more lightweight and cleaner to the heavy industrial factories with smokestacks that one often sees. So they're smaller units, generally between 100 and 700 square meters, and they're often found in complexes with multiple units or multiple blocks of units.
Okay. And now industrial property as a sector, like why would you say that this is a good investment opportunity for someone?
Well, I think historically property has always been an amazing investment worldwide, and it's formed a big part of a lot of people's asset base and their investment portfolio. So property as an asset class is always fantastic to hold. Obviously, property can be broken down into the residential space, the retail space, the office space, and obviously the commercial space. The property market of late has come under a lot of pressure. Obviously, post-COVID, we're facing tough economic times and headwinds. But in key industrial nodes and geographic areas, the industrial property market is buoyant. There's lots of demand, and there's very little new stuff coming to the market. New stuff's expensive to build. And with a lot of town planning and regulation, it's very slow. And there's very little serviced land. Serviced meaning that council doesn't have reticulation of water, sewers, power. So it hamstrings development. So actually what's there in key nodes is becoming sought after, and with limited supply and increased demand. So it's becoming a key, it always has been, but in South Africa, it's actually still a key investment opportunity.
And I suppose since COVID also we saw sort of like an e-commerce boom, right? And so the industrial sector specifically has been quite resilient when compared with other property sectors. Like it's managed to actually hold its ground and even, experience its own little boom with e-commerce taking place, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen a lot of these big box distribution centers have popped up, but there's always going to be a need for the smaller micro units. There's an array of different businesses, from importers, people manufacturing, assembling small goods. For example, in Graphite, if we have a look at it, we've got chocolate manufacturers, we've got label producers, we have plumbers and electrical businesses, we have importers of whether it be solar or inverters. There's a full array. There's head office for some of the branded franchise companies. So the small industrial units will always there'll always be a need for them, and there'll always be demand for them. Businesses need a home.
Sure. Now, in the past, I think you and I were chatting the other day about, if you had to invest in an industrial property the traditional way, but there's quite a few barriers to entry there, which obviously don't exist with EasyProperties. So maybe you can talk me through, like, how would you traditionally go and invest in an industrial property? What kind of capital would you need? What kind of processes are there that you need to follow?
Good question. Generally in the residential space where most people invest, one can go to a bank and actually easily access finance. You can get up to 100% bonds. The bonds are over a 20-year period, thus making your monthly repayments fairly affordable. The commercial space is slightly different. The term of bonds is normally 10 years, and the amount of deposit that one requires to play in the space is between 30 and 40%. So that's prohibitive for a lot of smaller investors to enter the market because they don't have the deposit, and the monthly commitments in terms of the bonds over a 10-year period are significant. So they're actually precluded from this. A lot of seasoned property developers will always say, you learn in residential, but you make money in industrial. So you learn the principles, but the actual money is made in the industrial space. That's why most of the funds, the listed property funds, the REITs, the mutual funds, they heavily invested in the industrial sector, but they have the balance sheets and the finances to actually become involved in these deals.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, if it's such a valuable sort of opportunity for people and there's been such barriers in the past, then it makes it even more exciting that it is available on EasyProperties where you can invest with any amount you've got. And the property that we're talking about today, Graphite Park, has some really great tenants in it as well. So you've got, in addition to the potential returns you could get on this investment, and we've spoken about the opportunity in the sector, you also have this rental income that you can generate on EasyProperties as well, and with good quality tenants, which is really nice. Let's talk a little bit about the other units. So this isn't the first and only industrial property that we're going to be doing with you guys. There's a couple more to come. Can you talk about those as well?
Yes, yeah. We have a nice pipeline. We've actually acquired two other significant complexes in Strijdompark. Maybe we should just chat about Strijdompark as an area. One of the key, let's call it deliverables for OwnAware, is to identify complexes that are in key locations, close to transport networks, close to labor forces, and complexes that have generally been very well maintained, They have a very high level of occupancy, so they don't often stand empty. There's high demand on the units. And some of these complexes post-COVID, we believe they're under-rented. Under-rented, by that I mean that the rentals that the current tenants are paying are slightly below market value. And because of this increased demand in post-COVID era, we believe there's room for those rentals to increase to a more market-related rental. So Strijdompark's a great area. There's high demand for the area. There's very little vacancy across the entire area. It ticks a lot of those boxes. In addition, it's actually close to a lot of key residential areas, Randburg, Bryanston, where a lot of business owners reside, and a lot of business owners want to be close to their business. So it's we see it as an area that offers value on all fronts. And so we have made an acquisition of 3 complexes, Graphite being one, and then 2 other complexes, which we're going to be doing some launches with you guys shortly.
Awesome. That's very exciting. And guys, with the current property getting very close to being fully subscribed, I think we're over 60% as at the recording of this video. You want to get in there, and there's also going to be opportunity for these next 2 properties as well. So yeah, we're really excited for that. David, thank you so much for the chat. I really appreciate it. And I can't wait to see these next properties come on board as well. Yeah. We're going to be coming to visit Graphite Park pretty soon. So hopefully we can share a few little videos with the community on that as well. But thank you so much for your time. Yeah,
the nice thing is if anyone invests and they see their unit numbers, they'll be able to see which tenants are actually paying their rents.
Exactly.
I think it makes it pretty personal. And yeah, I think this is going to be a very successful story and journey with you guys and with the general public. Thanks for the support.
Looking forward to it.
Great. Thank you. Cheers.